space. The final frontier. An infinite expanse harmful to human and gamerkind. But it is our duty to the trillions of lives yet to be born, to go where no man has ever gone before. And whatever hardships we may face shall be swept aside. For there is nothing that can conquer the indomitable gamer spirit. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. The Kerbal system at first glance is just like any other rocky and gaseous planets orbiting a G2V star, but on closer look, you'll find our beautiful blue ball of the void, named by its inhabitants, Kerbal. It's easy to see one habitable planet in the system and instantly assume, well, it's the only one. In fact, there are two other worlds capable of supporting life, Lathe and Eve. It was seen as a collective goal for the Kerbal civilization to branch out into their home system and grow their race. So soon, significant funds were allocated to a little company known as Aerospace, headed by the equally very experienced Sliggity Slasher. And soon after, with the launch of the biggest Kerbal-made rocket in history, investments and public support flocked to the burgeoning company. The crew designated to fly such a beast were not so happy on the other hand. But what was the goal? Well, for now at least. For obvious reasons, it's always best to start small, and it was decided by the executive committee that Minmus, Kerbin's second moon, would be the first to be colonized. So, what was the plan? Minmus would act as a base of operations, a staging post, if you will, for future interplanetary missions. So, two things were necessary: an all-in-one mining and refining outpost to get some nice fuel, and a truck to transport said fuel. There was one issue, however: a relatively small design for the fuel refinery was practical. So, I guess the real reason for these missions you're about to see is, well, because I can. We're not going to the moon because it's easy, we're going to the moon because we can. The first mission would be to set up the mining station. This would be done in a completely original design and not an edit of an existing spacecraft. And so everyone held their breath as the countdown reached 0.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, that was an epic fail. I didn't set up the launch correctly. Leave a comment explaining your absolute shock. So I tried again, and the shots looked whoa. From there, it was just a normal ascent, and the orbit, it was surprisingly stable, and before I knew it, we were in orbit around Minmus, but fuel would become an issue. I'm not sure why, but the intercept with Minmus was very finicky, so a mid-course correction burn was required. This left me with not a lot of fuel for landing, but Minmus's low gravity meant that this wasn't a huge issue. Or was it? I chose the landing spot, time warped to the landing, and oh, that's really close, Actually, no, this is not bad at all. What did I say? Low gravity. And then finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. Ooh, stuck it. Now that we were on Minmus, all I had to do was extend the solar panels, radiators, and most importantly, it was time to plant the flag. Oh yeah, and also extend the mining drill.
Huh?
So it turns out that a bunch of frozen mint water has no ore, so I had to move somewhere which didn't have ore. How was I supposed to move this then? Let me rewind. But Minmus's low gravity Oh yes, that's right! Minmus has extremely low gravity. And what's this? RCS thrusters? I know what I'm gonna do.
Nope.
It was now time to send the fuel truck. This would load fuel from the refinery and then put it into the rocket that just landed nearby. So shall the mission commence? Once again, the classic D's Mark II would carry the payload, and the launch went very well. Oh wait, no it didn't.
Watch your jet. Watch your get, bro. Watch your get!
And then it happened again. My theory was that the wheels used on the truck were making the rocket lean too far to one side. But after replacing them with the smallest wheels possible,
That's kind of small.
the problem persisted. No matter what I tried, it just kept happening. I even designed a whole new rocket, and it still happened. And then I found out. I think I have been enlightened. Put simply, the rocket was being controlled upside down, as the cockpit of the truck was, well, upside down. Yada yada yada, arrive at Minmus, time warp to land, was too low and too fast, ran out of fuel, reloaded a quick save, tried landing again, ran out of fuel, tried using monopropellant, crashed, started a new mission. The rocket was modified to expend less fuel in orbit burns, so it could be used to eventually land. Now you may be asking, aren't you a little bit far from the mining base? Yes. Yes I am. I'm actually on the other side of the planet. I can drive the distance. It's fine, I thought. Minmus isn't that big. Well, remember how I replaced the truck's wheels because I thought it was unbalancing my rocket? Yeah, I reached a maximum speed of 5 meters per second. And because of the wheel's dainty stature, the truck was prone to flipping. And then, finally, the fuel truck, with new, bigger wheels, made touchdown. It disconnected and made contact with the iced mid-oceans. There it was, just up ahead. Now it could be fully operational, and the processed fuel could now be transported. Oh yes, in theory, but since my designs were kind of freaked, as the tanker couldn't connect with the station, hence couldn't transfer fuel, I couldn't do anything with it. So, yeah, this was all for nothing. So if you want me to waste more of your time, subscribe. Yeah guys, I'm sorry I spent so long in this, but next week, I intend on picking up the pace and really pumping out some good stank. Have a game-tastic weekend. The day I left, the weather it was dry. The sun's so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry.